Yo guys, what up? Me Patrick Lavar back again with another daily update, building a $5,000 Blender Octane community inside of school and in public, going and documenting everything that I'm going through on building this community and the struggles and the ups and downs and all of the unseen stuff that nobody talks about. So if you're new here, I'm basically going to go through the comments in this first opening section, and then I'm going to just do a little quick brain dump to help me also holds me accountable for things that I say that I'm going to do. And then I have to come back to this video and I'm like, oh, I said I was going to do that and I have to do it. Right. So let's start off with some questions here. Came in yesterday, blah, 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 5524, commenting on why I stopped rendering PNGs. Looks better without color correction. I did all that Gleb Alexandrov color transformation workflow on my own renders, and it ruined it. It ruined the look completely. Just add exposure, contrast, and add effects without color space transforms. Result is a better looking result. Well, that's your opinion. But if you're going or if you plan to do any type of professional 3D work, color space is a big issue. It's a big thing that is talked about, and especially working in any type of VFX house, color space is like massive. It's massive. So especially when you're working with EXRs. So I'm actually not even going to get in with you because you obviously don't understand. But sorry that your stuff looks bad. So just keep rendering PNGs. Let's mark that. Next, moving on. Nice. I approve of this. I approve of what? What do you approve of? Making the metals, making the metal materials. That was from yesterday's vlog. I could call these things vlogs. They're not vlogs. They're like daily reports. Yes, I am building this metal kit for just metal. It's basically metal, but it's scientifically using scientifical refraction levels and all that jibber jab. I talked about it in yesterday's video. So I think you might be talking about you're glad you're liking that. Yeah, as soon as it's finished, I'll probably throw that up on the Gumroad and get that finished out. As far as I know, we can't burn AGX into open EXRs with Vanilla Blender. No, whenever you're doing EXRs, there is no burning anything into it because EXR is EXR linear workspace. That is the color space. You can do EXRs aces, but no, you cannot do any AGX. No, that doesn't work it doesn't work like that. Linear EXR color space is its own thing. So you add, after you go into DaVinci, you can turn it from sRGB linear to AGX color space or whatever gamma or color space you want. So yeah, no, you can't burn it into it. Absolutely not. Thank you. You helped a lot. What did I help you with? Octane default settings, killing your viewport. Okay, the viewport video. Yeah, those are just some of the settings that, when I first loaded up Octane, it was heavy and like a lot of the things weren't optimized. They just actually fixed that in the newer version of Blender Octane. When you download the standalone version, they've made some updates in the render settings and GI clamps and things like that. I've actually just released in my community before I did this, a full-on Blender Octane starter kit. And literally this starter kit is basically to help people like that right here, this Blender Octane starter kit. And basically everything that I did, what's inside this Blender startup file, I have a lot of presets things set up already, ready to go. One is the real camera lens option is dialed in with depth of field. All of that stuff's on. HDR environment and a lighting environment. I have HDR lighting environment, regular color environment, and then you can customize and switch between the backgrounds and all that stuff. It's pretty intense. It's pretty cool. Optimized render settings with presets inside of it. I have some high-end render GPU. Matter of fact, let me stop talking about it. Let me just show you guys really quick. Unfortunately, this is going to stick in the community only. It's going to be an exclusive for the community because I normally give everything away. But there's some things that I need to keep for them because it's like, what's the point of being in the community if I'm just giving everything out, right? So Octane starter kit. Just to do a quick crash course, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it's going to take literally like 20 minutes to go through the whole thing. Oh, that's not it. What is that? That's totally something different here. Yeah, it's just to help newbie, not even new people, just people in general, get their scene dialed in real quick. because there's a lot of settings that needs to be set up in Octane when you first start it, and it's a pain to get those, to keep constantly having to do those. So I just built this file so you don't have to constantly keep doing that. And 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, where is it at? 1.1, there we go. So like you literally come in here to this, and like for example, what I was talking about, you got cycles, you jump over here, you've got cycles all set up, cycles is ready to roll, and then you can flip back over here, and then you're back into the Octane world. So literally cycles and Octane is a flip of a switch, and you can see I mirrored the scenes, right? That took a while to set the HDR up and mirror it. And then I've got this setup here of these world setup, a custom world setup. So it allows us to, you can see 1-to-1, it allows me to go to my world and I can say, hey, I want to have the HDRI, but I want to change the background color. So I can change the background color using this node here, or I can just turn off background altogether. So we're still seeing the HDRI. Then I can go like, hey, I just want to see just a white background with the white, or if I want to just have the HDRI lighting the scene with the different. So you got different combinations that you can do here. I've got that all set up. I've got render passes all ready to go. So if somebody wanted to render out their passes, that's all ready to roll out with PNGs or EXRs. Excuse me, guys. And then also what a lot of members in the community are loving is I added a whole bunch of presets as far as different render settings. For example, you can jump in here and you've got high-end GPU settings where I cranked everything up. These are like a baseline where you can get started from. And then I've got my low-end GPU settings, the settings I use on my 1050 laptop. So these are way more lower. And then I've got like Octane default and then my setup. And then what I also did, I built into the scene was a couple of presets. So we've got like this scene here, you got it. And then you can come in here. Maybe you don't want this scene. You just want to do like some basic, like maybe some product animation or product rendering setup. So you can kill everything. We can just come in here. I got a 3-point lighting setting ready to go. And then you can also turn on the assets. And then we've also got this cyc wall ready to go and all set up and ready to roll like that. So I got a bunch of other things. Then I've got some materials that I've already built inside. They can drag and drop these preset materials. If you want glass material, you literally just drag it onto him. And then boom, here is a glass setup. And then if I come in here and fire that up, boom, there's the glass setup. It's ready to go. If you want a subsurface scattering setup, boom, there's a subsurface scatter. So just a little bit of look inside of that setup that I'm actually glad I built. I've been using it already all day today, and already it's saving me a whole bunch of clicks that I normally would always do. So that's I worked on that pretty much all day today. So I got that ready to roll. So happy that I was able to help you there. You're welcome. What's this next one? I'm always like, why not the Octane render engine as just a one-click installation add-on? They're working on that. They're working on the Blender add-on that's going to natively fit inside of Blender, standard vanilla Blender, and then you'll load it into like any add-on or extension. They're working on that. It's still in beta right now. It's getting better. And once it's really tightened and full down, I will switch over to that once it's ready. So yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Frack. Hi, okay. Actually, no, you're not gonna get a like on that because I don't really understand what you're saying. Can you make a tutorial for Blender, Octane plus DaVinci Resolve crypto mats? I can't get it to work. Oh, that's a really good one. Yes, I will put that on the list. That is actually a really good. Yeah, that's a great one, dude. I really like that. Let me get that tutorial to crypto mats because I just set up ALV passes and all that, so that's fresh on my mind right now. So yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm throwing that on the task list right now, so I don't forget it. Boom, it's set. Okay. And then what else do we got here? Sorry, I missed something in the IES lighting. You say always use an RGB image, but what image are you talking about specifically? IES lighting. I think because I honestly don't know. I have to look back at that video in the IES lighting. What do I mean
by
by
we're going to take a look at some of the lights that we have inside of Octane. We come in here and I bring in a light. We have our Octane for this setup here. Volumetric. You can see the edge. Go ahead and kill that. But what is interesting, I was doing some more studying and I found the emission. And then what we do is we take a Gaussian spectrum node. Again, you'll set this these in color. Always use an RGB image. I have my RGB image in. And then what we do here, instead of having the other projections that we kind of use, we can add in a spherical projection. If I reset this back to default and plug it in, you'll see that it's not acting right again if you try to correct in the other setup. So in this case, we set the spherical script and come in here. Normal space.
Yes, that's
Boom,
boom. It works. Yeah. So you have to use an RGB image. There is a grayscale image. There's an alpha image node, but you have to use the RGB image. At least I haven't checked it since the 2025 update, but I'm quite sure it's probably set. In order, whenever you import your IES file, you're going to load it into an RGB image, right? Because I think there's an extra channel in RGB image that is using versus a grayscale image, right? You wouldn't use that. And then once you set this, it should work there. So that's probably where you might be getting mixed up, because I made that mistake once. I was using a grayscale image and it wouldn't work. I was like, why is it not working? And it wasn't working because I wasn't using an RGB image. So that might be something you need to definitely take a look at. So yeah, on that. All right, guys. I'm getting a little bit hungry. So as far as brain dump today, like I really don't have a lot on. I'm basically getting ready to. I've actually got my first client or person to work with on building the Octane community program. He's going to. I'm gonna basically we're gonna work together, and I'm gonna help him to start a community. He's a fantastic product renderer guy. He's a YouTuber too. So I'm gonna work with him exclusively for a while I build this program and learn how to do this and help him build a community. And then hopefully within 90 days, see if I can get him to get his first paying community members into his community, because he's a really good artist, and he's really talented, and he should definitely be taking advantage of his skills and his traits there. So today I was really happy um, with just the time I've been spending. I've been spending a little bit more time in my community. Normally, I would be heavily focused and spending all this time on making these YouTube videos. And you may have noticed, like I'm getting my new schedule is going to be one deep dive video a week, where I like really put all my time and effort into. And it's not going to be like no crazy B-roll. Like I'm just trying to get value. I'm shying away from the whole make it cool and B-roll flying around and everything. No, it's going to be more real value, like learning stuff. Like you can get like, oh, I got it, I understand. That's more powerful than this glitzy. Like I'm tired of doing all those type of edits. They take forever, and it's like, and a lot of people come away, well, I really didn't learn too much, right? So I'm getting more towards like classroom style. You're sitting in a room, or I'm sitting in a room with me, and we're working on the computer, and we're making a scene or something like that. So they're not going to be short and optimized for 5-10 minutes. They're maybe 20, they may be 30, they may be 40 minutes. And it's just going to be more value. And unfortunately, my videos are going to take a hit in views. I don't really care. Like, I can make these really cool YouTube friendly videos and get like 3,000, 4,000 views on it. And like, that's great. But how much value did the viewer actually get versus me making like a 30-minute, 40-minute video and only 200 people watched it, but half of them were like, dude, this really was what I needed. I like that. And that's what's been the trend with these longer formats. So I'm going to keep doing that. And I'm just gotta, I'm not gonna play for the views anymore. So yeah, things are gonna slightly change here, guys. And just even with this format here, like putting these out, nobody's gonna watch them. I don't care. But for those who do watch it, for the few hundred or 20 people who watch it, I will continue putting these out. So catch you guys tomorrow. Yeah, peace. I'm out. See ya.